Hey everyone out here. I just had this really weird dream, and I'm gonna try and remember it as much as I can before I forget about it. Anyway, I am at like a grocery store, and I buy some scratch-off tickets, and I'm with my aunt, who is no longer here with us. But a lot of things going on in that dream. I'm scratching off the stuff. My mom, who had supposedly played this game before, she gave me like a little cheat sheet of it as well. Because it was just like a bunch of garbage text and like different combinations of things, and it didn't make a whole lot of sense. It had some algebra in it. It was also like blackjack. It was kind of weird. Also in the letters, normally on those scratch-off tickets, it would be like, something on, at least in our state, I don't know if this is the same everywhere else, but you get these like letters that pop up in the play area itself, just to kind of, validate or, make sure it's a more genuine kind of price thing. So, like, if you won $1, it would say, like, ONE somewhere in the thing. If it was $2, it would say TWO. Anyway, so I'm scratching through, and it says DWD, which is the, my side job, which is itself hella confusing. Also, I just said hella weird. But, so I'm scratching off, and I'm looking at all these different combinations of things, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is a big winner. And so, I'm very nervous. I mean, we're still at the grocery store, but I tell my aunt, I was like, I think this thing won at least $1,000. She immediately goes into tears. And then she asked me if it's worth $1,907. To which I just replied, I'm not sure yet. Because again, I didn't really know how the game worked yet. I mean, we had to go, and obviously if we've got a big ticket that wins stuff, you got to go to the lottery department. You've got to go to like the lottery building and have them validated and everything, and then sign in for tax purposes and stuff. And so, I'm thinking, okay, so who's going to claim this ticket? Is it me? Is it my aunt? Is it my mom? Who's going to do that? How much is actually on this thing? And so I quietly, go back to the cashier, and I'm like, hey, where, do you know what the address is for the lottery office? And they scribble it down for me, so that ideally I can go the next business day, because I guess it was like a Saturday or Sunday that we were at the grocery store. And so I'm obviously now very nervous and paranoid, and be like, oh my gosh, I have to hold on to this thing until Monday, and I can go to the bank or go to the lottery department and drop this thing off. But so I'm thinking, okay, there's at least $1,000 here that I'm going to give to my aunt. And I'm getting a ride back home. I meet up with my mom. And we ride like a bus or something towards our house. We had just moved to a new neighborhood. And it was immediately like a nicer neighborhood. But somehow in my head it was like, it was the shady 10% of the nice neighborhood, which is comparably pretty darn nice still to everything else. And so the bus goes up like this one major street. I wanted to say it was like Ocean Drive or something weird like that. And then for us, we were going to move to the right, but for like 90% of everybody else, it goes to the left. And so we're getting off the bus, My mom's already talking to neighbors and their pets, and she starts walking home, and so I have to follow her. And I'm explaining to her that I think this ticket won, quite a bit of money. In my head, it started thinking like maybe this was the one that actually won $25,000 on the scratch off ticket, because the thing I said was like, went up to $25,000, and I'm like, oh boy, this is a lot still, and that requires us to go into the lottery office and claiming it, and putting it on taxes and stuff for tax purposes. But so I'm following her back to her house. And again, it's a really nice place, but still mostly unpacking and stuff. But we're trying to figure out who's going to claim it, and then how much does everybody get. And so I said, I think I'm giving my aunt at least $1,000 still. If I can give her as much as she needs, that's great. And then there was also like a giant pizza that came in sometime during that dream. Like my mom went to go pick up a giant pizza that had been delivered or something. I don't know. It was kind of confusing. And then my cousin also was with friends, and they had pizza too. And it was kind of like a side segue on a sitcom. It was like, hey, what are they doing at this time? And they were doing the same thing and eating pizza. But they didn't have as much pizza as we did right now. Like, we had like a lot of pizza. And so I feel like this is some kind of massive metaphor of, spreading the wealth and stuff, even if we don't actually have a whole lot, because I don't know how much was on that ticket. I just woke up like 10 minutes ago, and I'm like, this is a weird dream. Like, I remember these little bits and pieces of it. Like, on the scratch ticket itself, in addition to those little tiny letters in the thing, it said USC 123. So, I don't know what that means. The lady, one of the dogs' name was Sally. And so there was just a lot of little weird things going on in my dream. It didn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, it was just that I had a dream still, but at least one that's a little more cohesive would have been appreciated. So, not sure what all that means in terms of stuff, but that was my weird dream.